Hey everyone, and welcome back to the course. Today I want to talk about the playground feature of the discourse extension. The discourse extension is the very cool extension that we installed earlier that makes Rome recognize different types of statements, claim, questions, evidence, and certain relationships between them. It's a thing that we installed earlier in one of the previous videos. Precisely, we installed it in the second video of the module before this one. And today I want to talk about a kind of secret feature of the extension, which is called the playground feature. And what it does is it is a whiteboard for you to collect all your evidence and claims that you put in your database, where you can collect them, connect them, play around with them, organize them. All this may help for you to make sense of everything that's in your database because it offers a visual way of doing the sense making. The playground provides a visual spatial playground where you can import discourse graph elements and do visual explanatory sense making over your claims and evidence. And then you can export those visual mind map-like structure web that you've created as a linear outline that you can then go and use for writing. So that sounds very cool. Here there are some instructions about how it works. This is mainly for you to check so that you can see this in our shared Rome graph after you've seen this video. I will just demonstrate it right now with the control click to delete nodes and shift clicking to create connections. It wasn't very abstract without an example. So let's make an example. So what you have to do is you have to create a page that starts with playground. That's it. And then if you have the discourse graph extension installed, it will render this interface. Now we can go and play around. So let's maximize it. You can just add nodes here. So add things from your database. So I'm going to make a new node. And now I haven't selected any of the types, which I can do here. Let's just do that first. So control click is deleting. And here you can select which kind of node you want to add. So let's say I want to add some evidence because that's what you probably be usually doing. You can get all of your evidence nodes lined up here. So this one, for example, 5% of subjects perceive a fake headline as accurate on first exposure. And then also add a little bit of more evidence. This one about how the mean perceived accuracy of fake and real news headlines hardly varied as a function of political concordance. And now usually what people do in the playground is you have like 20 more pieces of evidence. And then you're going to think about like, okay, so what is the claim that best synthesizes this? You can also have a question like this. And then now I'm creating a new question. So this one's not in my graph yet. And then you'll see later when I generate Rome blocks here, it will generate these blocks. So it will make a new question page for me. And then you can hold shift, click the one, click the other, and then you can draw this informs relationship. Like that. And now what you'll see is if I click generate Rome blocks, it will have created this question page and it will have indicated these questions as these evidence nodes as informing this question. So that's really kind of cool. So it actually works with the Discord context thing here. That's one use case. Another use case is, so I'm going to just delete all of this. Another use case is to combine it with the query drawer. This is another feature of the extension. So if I do Control P on Windows or Command P on Mac to open the Rome command window, and I search for query drawer, which is not the same thing as query builder, right? I can find all kinds of things. So I have to enter the label. So now again, I'm looking for evidence. And then you can select a certain relationship that the evidence needs to have to some claim or something else. So you can do either like this, a very specific search. You're searching your whole graph for all the evidence that has in a post by relationship to this claim, for example, right? If you're using a template, probably you will already have all the evidence for that claim on that page. But if you're just using the free writing that the discourse graph extension allows for, as long as you respect the grammar that you've defined, this is a great way to find all the evidence that informs, explains, opposes some claim in one go from all your graph. You can also do a claim, right? That's also possible. And then find all the claims that explain or, that support this claim, right? You can do that as well. So this is just a great way to find everything that's in your database. But you can also do an even more general search. So you can find evidence, not with a specific relationship, but just with text. So any evidence you have with the text fake, for example, then you query and then you'll find these two things. Then you can pin those here. And now you can do different queries and find other evidence. And then you can generate a whole list of evidence that you want to go and process and find connections with, or maybe synthesizing claims. So that's how a lot of people use it. I've linked to a demo below this video as well, but what you'll do is you'll first generate an entire list of evidence and claims you want to visually make sense of. And then what you do, you go get to work. So now maybe I want to do a claim. So like this is also something that's created. So I shift here and here, and then I say supported by, and then this one is just informs, shift, informs. And you can imagine that if you have a lot of evidence and a lot of claims in your database, being able to do some visual sense making like this, and then export it linearly like this can be a great way to start your writing projects. That's why I've named the video Kickstart Your Writing Project, because it's a great way to make the step from mindmap-like connections to linear outlining. So that's something very cool that you can use the playground for, especially if you use it together with the query drawer. It's a great way to do a visual assembly of how questions, claims, and evidence are connected or can be connected. And you can imagine that if you have more stuff, it's just incredibly powerful to draw like a mind map, but not just a web with just lines, but just web with relationships that are specified. So inform, supported by, opposes, and it's just so powerful for finding all these nodes in your graph using the query drawer. And if you use those together, this is just a really powerful tool to do visual sense making and transform that visual sense making in a rough outline to start your writing project. So that's just something I wanted to show you in this course, and I'll see you in the next video.